too. Oh, I see how you're gonna be.
I said yep.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
Yep.
All right, so we are in the car on our way back to the airport. We're going to Midway Airport, and I thought this would. All right, so anyway.
Person was
All right, okay, so, all right. So I thought I'd take this wonderful, wonderful opportunity to continue on our What's New with the New Games segment, where we talk about, okay, what's the deal with miniatures battles and all the new games coming out onto the market. So basically, it's a problem of resources, because if you're going to start a miniatures battles game, you know what? Let me go back even yet further than that, and feel free to jump in if anyone has any comments. It's the free market. So in a free market, people vote with their wallets, and if your product isn't as good as another product, you don't get sales and you can't expand, and most likely you die off. So it's a very vigorous contest. And I believe miniatures battles is a great example of the free market. As a side note, in the US we don't have a free market. Here's how you can tell if you have a free market, is if some of your money goes to a company, a privately owned company, where you might have preferred that it not go to that company, then you weren't free. Somehow they got your money without you choosing them. And there's another side of this too, which is, did you end up with a product or service that you wouldn't have otherwise purchased, which is obviously a way for a company to get your money. So, for example, there's corn syrup and everything, because why?
Government subsidizes corn.
That is correct. Corn. So people didn't say, hey, I want corn universally. People who owned corn producing companies went to their senator and got legislation where they got some of the public money. And so back to miniatures battles. I love the free market because it winnows out. It's like a purifying process, perhaps. To find out which are the best products and services, or which ones are desired most. And with miniatures battles, there's a market, so there's people spending money on these things, and people want that money, and so they're attempting to become the go-to company for whatever that is. So all right, back to the original track. Well, was that a detour, or did I really just lay the foundation correctly? So you've got so you buy your miniatures, right? But you're not done investing yet, because why? What else do you have to invest in order to play that game? Yeah, you got to invest time learning the rules, time actually playing it. You got to assemble and paint your miniatures, which means you're going to have to purchase equipment for that. And let's face it, it's equipment. You have to buy craft supplies to paint your own miniatures, or preferably, for everybody involved, a win all around is having your miniatures professionally painted.
By us.
Yes, that's right, by Blue Table Painting. So there's an investment. There's other problems too, and I talked to a couple of guys from Cool Mini about this, which is there's a limited resource in terms of organizational capacity for these games. Meaning, you know, I bought game X, but nobody plays it down at my game shop anymore.
I need more change.
So therein lay the problem. Wait, where was I? So it's like, well, I bought my army for game X, painted it up, and now no one else plays it. And that's where we come in, is we're going to help you sort through everything and make a good decision on which games to play. And we're gonna take really a much closer look at what games are out there, and which ones are worthy, of your investment of time and money. So let's just do well. And at Blue Table Painting, we make an investment too. Is well, in a way, we kind of help pick the winners, so to speak. because those are the games that you're going to see us doing bat reps for. We're going to do studio armies for them. I can't do studio armies for all these games. I can't do bat reps for all these games. So I have to pick which ones I think have a future. And, you know, because everyone gets the bright idea to make a miniatures battles game, but which ones really have the, you know, the resources to back it up? Feel free to jump in, guys. If you want. Okay, no, they're listening to the radio. The radio is me. So right now at the studio, the horses that we put money on are Warhammer 40K, Warhammer Fantasy, and in a way those are kind of givens. But you know, what if it ever comes to the point where, well, maybe they're not the best choice. But right now, Games Workshop does put out a fantastic product. They have fantastic support. You're going to find people to play those games, and there's really a lot of good things. When we sat down and did the analysis of you know, well, what are the criteria for looking at these companies, Games Workshop really gets high marks in all of those areas, as you shall see. But what other companies? So we've picked Privateer Press, which is War Machine Hordes, and we've also picked Infinity as games that we think are worthy of support, worthy of getting into, and we're also predicting that those games will be successful in the future. And so right now, I thought, since you've heard us give some specific reports on games, I wanted to give kind of an overview of all the games that we saw at Adepticon, all of them. So we had Brushfire Miniatures with Historia Rodentia, right? What else did we see? Let's go around the hall. We have Dead Generals Society with their game Free Blades.
Bolt Action. It's coming out.
Bolt Action? What is that one?
It's the World War II skirmish from
Warlord?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that. So you're going to hear a company name, and because you really got to look at the company. Is the company putting out a good product, but is the company strong overall? Because you could have a strong company and maybe one of their games doesn't make it, but you know, they still might be a good bet. So Bolt Action, which is the word, I actually like that one. I'm just not personally very much a fan of World War II, but a lot of the guys are. So okay, who else? We have Kings of War and Warpath by Mantic Games, right? So there's 4 so far. We had Warhammer and Warhammer 40K, so we're up to 6. We had War Machine Hordes, let's call that 7 games at whatever, but these weren't games that were premiering, these were just games represented. There we have Malifaux, Flames of War, Malifaux. Flames of War is kind of in a different category. I'd say Flames of War is a good bet. It's going strong, lots of people play it, but it is in a different category than most of the games we're looking at. Okay, so we also had, what else? Oh, we had the cool Mini or Not games. We have Dark Age coming out, and not Kings of War, but what it's called, Wrath of Kings. And I think that's gonna be some brand confusion there. I actually interviewed the Wrath of Kings guys and found out about their game. It's put out by. Okay, so Wrath of Kings there's a company called 5 Thrones, and I gotta tell you, I really had to dig to find out, you know, what the relationship with these different companies is. All right, so Wrath of Kings, the miniatures, as far as I could tell, the miniatures are produced by a lot of the artists from Rackham, and but obviously that company's defunct, and they formed a company, I think it was called 5 Thrones, and they're producing the miniatures, but Cool Mini is actually making the game. Therein lay my question: is if this company, or if there's a single artist, if it's a one-man band, like this game's based on the art of this one guy, and he kind of came up with this whole thing, and it's really his baby. Okay, well, what happens when that one guy gets in a car accident, or that one guy gets burned out on it, or that one guy, you know, there's not longevity, and so we have to be careful what horses we put money on, basically. which is but for Wrath of Kings, they're a good bet because it's being done by Cool Mini. The rules are being developed by Cool Mini, and the game and the distribution Cool Mini or not, is, in my opinion, a very strong company, and they're a good bet. Another thing to look at is, what's the personality of the company? Are they easy to get along with? Are they going to be part of the community? And that's kind of a gripe I have for companies as they get larger. They tend to kind of seal themselves off, which is a little obnoxious. Like, the little guys can't get access because there's this giant wall around them. And so there's that. But with Cool Mini, I definitely don't sense that. The people that are really inside the company are very, very accessible. And that's, I guess, I'm doing a little free association here. Is that what that's called? What's that called? Flow of consciousness or something? Stream of consciousness. That's the thing. Like free speech, says Mike. Yeah, that's right. Which is, we as companies like Blue Table Painting, I'm so busy doing Blue Table Painting that I don't really talk to the other captains of industry, and that's what I love about these conventions, is you get to kind of get your head up and go, oh hey, there's other people that have settled other colonies on this planet, and